But are you saying that you are not privy to, or you don't align with the Mark leadership?
Never.
Did Mr. Owusu did he meet the state chairman at all point?
No, not at all. You see, when we came from Abeokuta 2022, because we went for Abeokuta to select our presidential candidate, that was on the 8th of June. Then Dumobi Kachiku happened to be one of those presidential candidates. So it was at that point, we're thinking, after the primaries, Mr. Ralph Nwosu organized a convention to bring in new leadership. So he didn't do that, but we tried to question him because there's a danger in it. If you don't change the leadership, even if Dumobi Kachiku happened to be the presidential candidate taken to court, under litigation, under that, there's possibility that he will lose out. So we're advancing on that capacity, on that ground. He refused to listen to us. After we returned, we had our meeting in the party secretariat where he chased the chairman all away. Yeah, because that is the beginning.
So he chased all of you?
All of us, because he brought in some people. 19 of us. He suspended us there and then. So from there, when we went to court, Justice Binta Enyako, she gave us the judgment that Ralph Nwosu is no longer the term because his tenure has expired.
That's what we're saying.
Has elapsed. So he refused. He refused to abide by the law, the judgment. Then he went to Kaduna Zaria.
Yeah, you are from Nasarawa.
State.
And you're
the state chairman.
State chairman Nasarawa.
Yes.
You're also state chairman, chairman,
acting chairman,
Akwa Ibom State. Yes. And you are also not aware of this.
I'm not aware of it.
Is your signature here?
No, it's not there.
It's not there. So you're lucky.
Not very lucky. We are still in the same vision. Yeah. Because even if I want to
according to them, their signatures were sorry, one sec. Their signatures were forged. Among the signatures of the state chairman that signed the agreement to cede the party's control to David Mark, the Tifkus, and the others. So Dumobi Kachiku, aired another kind of like a press release in his office where he categorically listed out that indeed is forgery. I'm kind of showing you all these side dramas so that when they later fizzled out or they later become a bigger threat, you'll get to have a very good memory, the track of how that built up. Dumobi in his office, I believe.
I campaigned for meritocracy, insisting that we should leave religion, tribe, and tongue from our politics. Those who were more schooled in the art of politics laughed at me because based on their experience, only amateurs talk about meritocracy in a nation whose constitution recognizes and promotes the division of tribe and tongue. As I address you today on unfolding events within and without my party, the ADC, I am forced to acknowledge that indeed religion, tribe, and tongue are and will continue to be the key ingredients in our nation's politics until we do away with the hierarchies who have a chokehold on our country. A few weeks ago, I had won that a group of most old former political office holders were executing a carefully orchestrated agenda to take over the ADC to prosecute Atiku Abubakar presidential ambition come 2027. I also learned that PDP and other presidential hopefuls in this coalition of hierarchies were being duped as Atiku's men had been carefully positioned to take over the ADC party structure across the country. Today, I have been proven right as former Governor Obi and his people now realize that this coalition is indeed a one-man power grab. From Vice President Atiku Abubakar, a man who claims affinity and friendship with the South, does not believe any Southerner deserves to be president of Nigeria. Former Presidents Obasanjo and Jonathan are alive to attest to this uncomfortable truth. In their desperation to hijack the ADC, they deliberately perpetrated fraud of which I now present evidence to you today. I have here before you terms of settlement entered as judgment in the Court of Appeal of Nigeria, holding at Port Harcourt, with appeal number CA-PH225-2023, between the ADC, Chief Rafunosu, Engineer Eddie Lawrence as appellants, and some of the ADC state chairmen as respondents. What is the fraud, you may ask? To use the ADC, they needed to free of all legal encumbrances, such as those challenging Rafunosu's fraudulent claim to the chairmanship of the party. And so, they forged signatures of some of the chairmen who were not interested in the sale of the party and presented it to the court as terms of settlement, which the Court of Appeal adopted. I campaigned for meritocracy, insisting that we should.
So that was a Dumebi. So Dumebi's fight is that whatever deal Nwosu had with Atifku is not honest, and therefore should be null and void. However, others are saying Dumebi, like others too, right? Seems to be considering himself as someone who has built a sort of like a base, right? That after running for the position of a president, and it didn't really win, right? So he believes that over time, the party shouldn't discard him, just throw him away. Like, we're supposed to build together and keep going and keep going. And you know what? It could be us, it could be our turn. Like, you know, people could turn to us and based on that principle, but a lot of people seems to be disagreeing with him. And that is also one of the reasons why some people, when I say some, I'm talking about people who are not really completely biased, even those who are biased too, like who have argued that with what Peter Obi and the Obedient, with what they did in Labour Party, right? They have become so formidable enough that they could push out those who want to become the saboteur of the party and build the party and all of that stuff and face these guys again, because that could be, you know, a form of a credibility that people want to see in the political setups and all that, rather than go on and mix up with these career criminals who seems to just only want to use his good public, you know, his public card, or sort of good public card or image in this time, use that to possibly cover their own stinking, like this, their own stench, and still get back to power. Something that a lot of people find so uncomfortable to, you know, to really process. And such people are called emotionally weak. No, Baba, politics is more than that. It's not emotional disorder. So some people believe that, while the same thing that Kachiku seems to be propagating. Now, Obi hasn't really joined them officially. It was declared that they gave Peter Obi and El Rufaya, they gave them kind of like a waiver that they don't really have to join their coalition now. Okay, they can stay wherever they are now until when they give them the green light, and then they can move. For some reason, I find that a little bit like odd. But in their politics, tiny information like that are never to be dismissed or ignored. Okay, so Peter Obi was in Bauchi yesterday, and the guy who is the what do you call that thing? The chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, Bala Mohammed, which is one from the governor of Bauchi, officially told Obi there, maybe not officially, but it kind of like told him there that the PDP Governors Forum would like be honored to have him back in their party. And at the same gathering, Obi himself told the media, the journalist, that he is a supporter, an advocate for a single term of 5 years, So that's when you come in, you know that your contract is 5 years. You have to do your job, and then you are out. The way he puts it, yeah. I'll show you. Bauchi.
It is no longer about us. It's about our country. Our politics must change. It must be politics of development, politics of competence, politics of capacity and compassion, where we care for other people. And that's why I came to see my brother, so that we can talk and continue to talk about the problems of the country, how we can solve it together.
And of course we discuss politics. Two of us cannot meet without discussing Nigeria, irrespective of the fact that we are in different parties. We connect effectively because Nigerian politics cannot be done with ego, with differences and personal interests. We have to harmonize our interests in the interests of the people of Nigeria, because the opposition must come together. This ADC, PDP, NNPP and the rest must come together if we will unseat the present administration that is not doing well. But at the last note, I told you we want you to come back to PDP. And that's what I must say. So please come back, that's where you belong.
If I have opportunity, we should stop having second tenure for president. It should be 5 years. That's what it is in South Korea. So people come in and know they have a job to do. What people do now is to be president, do anything for 1 year, and use the rest of the year thinking about next tenure. We must stop it. Let's face the real job and do your own and go. I will serve for 4 years. And we have to start building trust. It's very critical. A leader should say something and stay with it. It is no longer about us. It's about
That should say something and then stick to it. Building trust, credibility, and all of that stuff. In a society like Nigeria, it's like you are just speaking in tongue. I can imagine many of you who actually watch that and because about nobody trusts anybody. Nobody even won't trust anybody. Trust about what do you mean? Like that's a very huge word. But the obedient will trust the man. They don't see him like that. In fact, they strongly believe that if he says he's going to spend a term, absolutely he will spend that term. Do you get what I mean? Like, they strongly believe that. Actually, they just need to understand that many of you were born in an era that trust has become a very, very, very scarce commodity. So don't blame them that they don't believe you. All right? So it was in University of Bauchi as well, where he had an interaction with their students there yesterday. That same trip. Let me show you. So that was him in Bauchi yesterday. And those of you who are, those of you who are the older generation, because everybody is getting old now. Those of you who are older generations, right? If you think those who subscribed to the obedient movement in 2023, if you think they were naive, deluded, and other things you might have called them, I don't know if some of you are actually ready for the Gen Alphas, who are now kind of like becoming the next generation of the obedient, swelling their rank in millions. You know something? They are interested in politics. Right? So if you think those ones you dealt with in 2023, right, they were deluded, they were confused, they are now, they know the truth, and Obi cannot blah blah blah. Ladies and gentlemen, I hereby introduce you to the next generation of Gen Alpha of the obedient movement. They are actually looking forward to your 2027 in their millions too.
Hey, guys, I get just my friends make on call me. If you feel say they don't already write election results, get your PVC. If you feel say they don't already rig the election, get your PVC. If you feel say INEC no go allow our vote count, get your PVC. If you feel say this country no feel better, get your PVC. Anyhow where you feel get your PVC for hand. Then make we come together, defend our votes. PVC registration don't start. Yes, go register for your PVC. As me, a first-time voter, I don't go register. Our votes, now our votes. Remember, it is better having and not needing than needing and not having. Get your PVC. Hey.
It's better to be having and not leading than to be leading and not having. I have no idea, seriously, what that means, right? But like I said, if you have seen them in 2023, if you experienced them in 2022 and 2023, and somehow your memory is no longer